I stand before you with renewed determination to give back to my country and to make the most of my life in service to you and my fellow Californians. Having gone through chemotherapy and beaten back cancer, I am certainly not intimidated by a career politician whose sharp tongue and invisible legislative record is a major embarrassment to this state. I have never run for public office before. But our founding fathers intended ours to be a citizen government. That is what by, for, and of the people means. I have been blessed to live the American dream. I have held many jobs, from receptionist to CEO. But at this place, and at this time in our nation's history, when we are threatened from within by government run amok, and from without by armies of terror, I am seeking the job of my lifetime. And I am asking you to hire me. Because I will not only defeat Barbara Boxer, but I will bring you devoted labor and sound judgment and honest stewardship to restore integrity in our nation's capital. The great sleeping giant of American democracy is rising up. We are rising up against a capital that talks but will not listen. The people say, stop the boondoggles and the backroom deals. The people say, stop the earmarks and the pork, and nothing changes. The people say, stop the pomp and the perks. Stop the hubris and the hypocrisy, and the politicians ignore them. Nancy Pelosi defends for weeks a tax-writing chairman who will not divulge financial information and who lies about who paid for his Caribbean junkets. Harry Reid, yes, you can applaud on that. Harry Reid looks the other way while a powerful banking committee chairman gets a special sweetheart mortgage deal and yet asks us to believe that there were no favors involved. And President Barack Obama campaigned across this country promising us that the C-SPAN cameras would record every minute of the healthcare reform legislative debate, but when it came time to turn the cameras on, he turned off the lights. So much for transparency. It is no wonder that millions and millions of American citizens feel betrayed. They feel that Washington is broken. But it is not Washington that is broken. It is the detached and arrogant leadership in Washington that is broken. There is nothing wrong with our country or our culture or our great traditions. They are as strong as ever because they rest on the shoulders of a strong and courageous and industrious citizenry. Barbara Boxer has stood by while hundreds of thousands of acres of the most productive farmland in the world in our great Central and San Joaquin valleys have been taken out of production. She has sat by and done nothing while the unemployment rate soared to almost 40%. When it came time to do something and to say that the farmers and the farm workers and the families were more important than a 2-inch fish called the smelt, Barbara Boxer sides with the fish. 3 times Barbara Boxer could have done something. As chairwoman of the Environment and Public Works Committee, she could have stepped forward and put an amendment forward to get that water turned back on. She refused. When her colleague put forward an amendment that would get the water turned back on, she voted against it. And when Senator Dianne Feinstein stepped forward several months ago and said, we have to get the water turned back on, Barbara Boxer was nowhere to be found. 3 times. She has stood by while our farmers and our farm workers and our families are out of work. You know, at the end of the Great Depression, the camps of the unemployed were called Hoovervilles. I think we should call the good people of San Joaquin Valley the Boxervilles. I will fight for every job. And I use the term fight very deliberately because Nevada fights for our jobs, Texas fights for our jobs, North Carolina fights for our jobs, and so do Mexico and Guatemala and Brazil and China and India and Poland and Russia, and the list goes on. And we are asking people here to try and build jobs, create jobs, keep their jobs with both hands tied behind their back. We must fight for every job by doing what is necessary to make it easy for innovators and entrepreneurs and small business owners to grow and build and prosper and succeed. I've become something of an involuntary expert on healthcare. The last thing you want to hear when you are waiting in a waiting room is, "The bureaucrat will see you now." The Democrats' health care bill was written by a doctor, Dr. Frankenstein. Let us start over and do it right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, and I know, that this will be a tough race. Barbara Boxer may be mean-spirited, she may not be very well liked, but she is a tough and determined campaigner. And the national left-wing brigades will descend on California to protect her seat and to protect their access to power. So get ready. MoveOn.org, Code Pink, they'll all be here. The unions, knowing that I am the only candidate who can truly beat Barbara Boxer, they already have an attack website up on me. Democratic Party already has an attack website up on me, and Barbara Boxer pays 2 staffers to follow me to all public events. They are here today, rest assured. You know what I say? Bring them on. As I said earlier, I have seen the great sleeping giant of American democracy. I believe it is awakening. Whether we are conservatives, moderates, independents, Republicans, Democrats, libertarians, Tea Partiers, we are all now members of one party. We are now members of the Had Enough Party. We have had enough. And at this critical point in our nation's history, at this tipping point, we have come once again to what Ronald Reagan called a time for choosing. You and I will choose to make a difference this year, not separately, but together. It will take you, and you, it will take you. It will take your passion, your commitment, your dedication, your conscience. It will take your drive, your dreams, and yes, even your hope. Because without the fullness of hope, this will not happen. But now, this year, in this, our time of choosing, we will do what Americans always do. When people tell us that it cannot be done, or all is lost, or we cannot come back, or it is too high, or it is too hard, that is when we emerge from our shops and our factories, from our homes and our neighborhoods, from our farms and our hills and our beaches and our towns and our cities, and we will march with our vote. I may make mistakes, but I will not make excuses. I will not only, with your help and your prayers, I will run the campaign of a lifetime, and I will not only send Barbara Boxer home, but I will bring you the highest of energy and the hardest of work to make you proud of your new U.S. Senator. Thank you so very much, and God bless you.